Today I am going to talk about the endocrine pancreas. As we know, pancreas is a mixed type of gland having both exocrine and endocrine function. Histologically, the exocrine portion of the pancreas is a compound racemose gland consisting of numerous acini, which are the secretory units, and these units secretes enzymes which are responsible for digestion of protein, fat and carbohydrate. So pancreas is a triangular gland which has both endocrine and exocrine cells located behind the stomach. Acinar cells is the exocrine, has exocrine product, and second one is pancreatic islets, that is known as islets of Langerhans, and these Langerhans produces hormones which are involved in regulating fluid storage and use. This is the anatomical structure of pancreas and related organs like duodenum, gallbladder, shown in this picture. This is the histological structure of pancreas. Shows the digestive enzyme secreting cells and islet of Langerhans, that are the hormone secreting cells. The hormone secreting cells are of four types. First one is beta cells, alpha cells, delta cells and F cells. The beta cells account for 70% of all mass of islet, and it is mainly situated in central position and produce insulin. Alpha cell present in periphery and it account for 20%. Delta cells present in between these two cells and this account for 5% and secrete somatostatin. And alpha cell are very few in number and that are responsible for secretion of pancreatic polypeptides. Beta cell secrete insulin, alpha cell glucagon and delta cell produce somatostatin. So the discovery of Langerhans, German medical student discovered it in dog in 1869, and it consists of 1 to 2% of pancreatic mass. Now come to the insulin. Now discovery of insulin. Frederick Z. Banting and John MacLeod were first awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology in 1923 for the discovery of insulin. So this is a picture of these two scientists which has got the Nobel Prize for discovery of insulin. And this is a picture of the first patient which received the insulin therapy. Now come to the structure of insulin. Insulin is polypeptide hormone containing 51 amino acid and it has two chains, alpha and beta. The alpha chain contains 21 amino acid and beta chain 30 amino acid. The hydrophobic character of the amino acid at the C terminal of beta chain is important for biological activity of insulin. First, the insulin is synthesized from the larger precursor molecule that is known as preproinsulin, and this ladder sequence is removed from it, and then the remaining molecule is folded with the disulfide bridge to form the proinsulin. So here is beta chain, alpha chain, and between these two disulfide bond is present. So the peptide segment known as C peptide is then cleaved off to produce insulin, and the C peptide connect the A and B chains, facilitating folding of A and B chains and retain in granules. It has got no biological activity but secreted in equimolar ratio with the insulin. Hence its concentration in plasma directly reflects the beta cell activity. Now come to the regulation of insulin secretion. Insulin secretion mainly regulated by feedback control signals provided by nutrients level in plasma. That is, insulin is also known as hormone of abundance. Now come to the mechanism of glucose induced insulin secretion. Insulin acts via plasma membrane receptors, which are glycoprotein in nature, and the receptor has got 2 alpha and 2 beta subunits linked by the disulfide bond. So this is a picture how the insulin released. In this picture had been shown that entry of the glucose will facilitate the glucose in the blood, facilitate the GLUT, that is glucose transporter present on the membrane, and this causes glycolysis and the citric acid cycle, and this result in synthesis of ATP, and this ATP produced causes closure of ATP sensitive potassium channels, and this lead to a stoppage of potassium efflux from the cell through the potassium channels, and leads to depolarization of the cells, and this depolarization of the cells leads to opening of calcium channels, and these calcium channels enter into the cells and causes the exocytosis of insulin storage in granules. So this is the mechanism how the insulin is secreted. Now the metabolism of insulin. Insulin circulates freely in the plasma. Its half-life is 5 to 8 minutes. Metabolic clearance is 800 ml per minute. Basal insulin release to the circulation is about 0.5 to 1 unit per hour. Total release into peripheral circulation in a day is about 30 units and metabolized mainly in liver and kidney. Now come to the mechanism of action. Insulin receptors present on the cell membrane, that is, it is the glycoprotein tetramer having the 2 alpha and 2 beta subunits, gene located on chromosome 19. First, the insulin bind with the alpha subunit resulting in conformational changes of the receptors. The HR complex is then internalized by endocytosis. And this is the flow chart. First, binding of the insulin to alpha subunit, and this lead to conformational changes in receptor of beta subunit, and these lead to activation of the tyrosine kinase activity of the beta subunits, and there is autophosphorylation of the beta subunit and tyrosine residue, and this lead to phosphorylation of intracellular protein that brings about alteration in cell function. Now come to the mechanism of action. As the insulin act via the plasma membrane receptor, that is glycoprotein contain the alpha and beta subunit, the active tyrosine kinase phosphorylates tyrosine on insulin receptor substrate 1 and 2, and these insulin receptor substrate are docking proteins to which a variety of the downstream proteins binds. Phosphorylation of insulin receptor substrate causes translocation of GLUT, that is glucose transport protein, to the cell's membrane, and this glucose transport protein facilitates glucose entry into the cell, and then the different protein channels are also inserted into the plasma membrane, leading to increased entry of amino acid, potassium and magnesium. This is the flow chart of action of mechanism. Here it is shown that 2 unit alpha subunit and beta subunit. Alpha is subunit present outside the cell, and beta also present inside the cell. There is activation of tyrosine kinase, which finally leads to glucose transport, protein synthesis, fat synthesis, glucose synthesis, and growth and gene expression. Insulin also control the growth via MP kinase pathway. This lead to transcription factor acting on the nucleus, and these are responsible for growth, and this pathway mediates the effect of insulin on growth. Now come to the physiological action of insulin. What are the physiological actions? First, the effect of insulin on glucose uptake in tissue in which it has been investigated. First, tissue in which the insulin facilitates the glucose uptake. These are skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle, smooth muscle, adipose tissue, leukocyte, lens of the eye, pituitary, fibroblast, mammary gland, aorta, and cell of the pancreatic islets. And the tissue in which the insulin does not facilitate glucose uptake, these are brain, all part of the brain except the subnucleus of hypothalamus, which are insulin dependent, kidney tubules, intestinal mucosa, and red blood cells. These are the cells which are not depend on insulin for glucose uptake. First, insulin action on carbohydrate metabolism. In liver, it stimulates the glucose oxidation, promotes glucose storage as glycogen, inhibit glycogenolysis, and inhibit gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis means glucose from the non-carbohydrate protein. an action on muscle. It causes glucose uptake, stimulate glucose uptake via GLUT4 and promote glucose storage as glycogen. Insulin action on carbohydrate metabolism. In adipose tissue, stimulate the glucose transport into adipocytes, promote the conversion of glucose into triglyceride and fatty acid. So it is anti-diabetogenic. On protein metabolism, facilitates amino acid entry into the muscle cells. Second, facilitates protein synthesis in ribosome by induction of gene transcription. Inhibit the proteolysis by decreasing lysosomal activity. So it is anabolic hormone. On fat metabolism, in liver, anti-ketogenic and lipogenic, stimulate HMG coenzyme reductase in adipose tissue, promotes the storage of fat, inhibit the lipolysis by inhibiting hormone sensitive lipase, promote lipogenesis by stimulating lipoprotein lipase, that is, it is anti-ketogenic. Insulin action on plasma potassium concentration. Insulin facilitates rapid entry of potassium into cell by stimulating the sodium potassium ATPase activity. Thus, it decreases the plasma concentration of potassium. It has got significant in that insulin is given along with the glucose in the treatment of hyperkalemia, and that occurs in acute renal failure. So it is a physiological regulator of plasma potassium concentration. So in nutshell, what are the main actions of insulin? Dominate in fed state metabolism, increases glucose uptake in most of the cells, increases glucose use and storage, increase protein synthesis, increase fat synthesis. So it is anti-diabetogenic, anabolic, anti-ketogenic and lipogenic. Stop कर दो.